Hey, how are you doing? I'm James. I'm a certified public accountant, and today is another episode of the Crypto Accountant. What I say here is not financial or tax advice, it's just for educational purposes only. Today we'll be covering the FLare network and their respective airdrop for the FLare network and the FlareFinance network. As of December 12th, if you've set up your hard wallet to receive Spark or your XRP tokens are on a participating exchange, you will receive the FLare token denoted as FLR. It's important to note that FlareFinance will also be doing airdrop for their respective token, YFIN. However, it's not an airdrop like we know them to be today. They will be issuing a token that's redeemable for YFIN, and you have to basically look at their program and watch educational videos in order to get YFIN in exchange for the DAO that they're issuing. The FlareFinance network is hoping that this action will inspire people to learn more about the FlareFinance network and actively participate in the ecosystem versus just giving an airdrop and having people get the token and sell it. So many of you are probably thinking, why is the XRP community getting these airdrops? And Spark as a whole has released a statement on why they've chosen the XRP community, and I think we should take a look at it. So here you can see on their website, they list a topic called Spark issuance. And they state the best community to own the asset that enables the use of XRP with the Turing complete smart contracts is the community that will use it and benefit from it. Simply put, the XRP holders. Flare is not doing an ITO, instead it is doing what we term a utility fork. We believe it's the first of its kind. A fork traditionally has sought to take the user base of an existing network and depart entirely from that network, usually to have an antagonistic relationship with the original chain. In contrast, a utility fork is intended to bring value back to the original chain, instead of moving away from it. Flare lets XRPL do what it does best, fast settlement, while it's bringing XRPL, smart contracts, and the feasibility to create a trustless pipeline to other blockchains. We think this is a powerful combination and a perfect example of utility. 100 billion Spark tokens will be created to mirror the quantity of XRP that exists. There are approximately 45 billion XRP tokens that do not belong to Ripple Labs. The objective of the distribution is that XRP holders other than Ripple can claim approximately a 1-to-1 amount of Spark to their XRP holding. 45 billion Spark will be claimable by XRP holders, stripping out known Ripple Labs addresses. 25 billion Spark will go to Flare Networks Limited, which is Flare's for-profit organization. 30 billion Spark will go to the Flare Foundation. It goes on to state, as many XRP owners actually use exchanges to hold their XRP tokens, there is a possibility that a holder of XRP who wishes to claim Spark tokens may be unable to because either the exchange claims the Spark and retains them rather than passing them on, or alternatively, doesn't claim them at all. To allow XRP owners to take part in the distribution either by pressuring their exchange to distribute the Spark tokens or to move exchange to one that does, the snapshot of the XRP ledger will be taken at a date nearer to launch. And as we know, that is December 12th, basically right at midnight on the 11th. So overall, they're entrusting the XRP community to grow one of their assets, which is pretty cool. So this begs the question, when will you be taxed? Well, the IRS has strict guidelines on what they consider income from an airdrop. Basically, if you receive the airdrop token and you have the ability to sell it for your respective currency, it's considered taxable income. And so at the time that we get this airdrop from the Flare network, it will be taxable income in that year. It's now looking that Flare will probably launch in 2021, so this will go on your 2021 return. As for the FlareFinance network, FlareFinance is expected to be issuing their tokens sometime after the Flare network launches. If you have any specific questions regarding the IRS regulations you should look to as to what to claim as income, please check out the description below. Typically, we value these as of the average daily rate exchange on the exchanges.
That way you're not getting taxed for the highest sell price and you're not reaping the benefits for the lowest sell price during the day. Your accountant may advise you otherwise on your specific situation. And if they're comfortable using another method, I would look into that as well. The rest of this video is just critical for the XRP community to understand that when the FlareFinance network launches, you'll be able to use your Flare tokens to basically earn income. And when the FlareFinance network launches and you take your DAO coin from the FlareFinance network and turn it into YFIN, you can actually stake YFIN and earn income from that as well. So Spark will be a very useful token for XRP holders, especially if they're getting these tokens for free and if it's going to produce an income stream for them in the future. As to what Flare is really aiming to do, after doing some research this week, it's pretty clear to me that Flare is basically the solution to Ethereum's issues, as XRP was the solution to Bitcoin's issues. So with that said, let's get started. So the Flare network is aiming to solve the scalability issues of Ethereum's proof of work network, what many of you know as mining, and also the new ETH 2.0 network, which is based on proof of stake. They're solving the mining issues we are all aware of in the proof of stake concept, the energy costs, the incentives, the majority control mining attacks, etc. Basically, in layman's terms, Flare makes it clear that Ethereum doesn't allow for alternative uses of the Ethereum token because the economics involved in the Ethereum system. The Flare network white paper states that if a holder of Ethereum can obtain a higher yield by providing collateral to create a stablecoin on the Ethereum network, by pledging that Ethereum token, they likely will. And what this does is divert the Ethereum tokens away from staking. And because they're diverted away from staking and they're economically incentivized to do so through giving their token to a stablecoin maker, they are making the network less secure. And while they make the network less secure, they're doing so to seek higher yield or higher profit in this system. And according to an educational research paper, this becomes an issue because there can be malicious coordination between validators if there are not enough people staking on the proof of stake network, on the ETH 2.0 network. And it basically forces the user's economic incentive away from security versus the proof of work model, which the economic incentive was surrounded by securing the blockchain or mining. And because the system was secured via mining and the economic incentives aligned with that security, they were hand in hand, they weren't competing with each other. So Flare's current hypothesis as to why Ethereum is still the leader in DeFi despite having comparatively higher transaction fees and cost and far lower transaction throughput, or the amount of transactions that can occur at once, is basically because people are making money mining and staking their coins, or even lending out their coins. So they say this is great for investors, but it's bad for people who want to see decentralization or DeFi become part of the mainstream way of doing business. They state in their paper that the incentives in the Ethereum system are directly competing against the security of the network. They also go on to say that in order for a proof of stake to work, there needs to be people who are willing to give up their coins to stake and not touch their Ethereum to secure the network. And what this essentially does is it puts a pool of Ethereum, and basically it pools capital because that Ethereum is worth money. It pools it into a certain locked state, and that capital can't be used. And so when I was reading this, I immediately made the comparison, and although it might not compare one-to-one to this, but basically the Nostro accounts that the banks have in all these foreign countries, they have to pool all their money together in order to be able to do foreign transactions with SWIFT. So Flare is basically kind of solving for that same issue that SWIFT and Nostro accounts had, that Ethereum and their proof of stake is going to have. So I thought that was a pretty interesting tidbit when I read it. So Flare comes to the conclusion that based on that, that in order to just secure the network and make the blockchain secure, that they would actually need a large amount of capital locked up. And this would basically increase the cost of commerce on the Ethereum blockchain to a point that it would not be appealing for people to participate in DeFi applications. So this is basically them saying, let me go back to XRP basically, is that they're saying that because the cost is unjustifiably high, much like the cost to do a money transfer using the SWIFT system, that it's going to economically disincentivize people to participate in the system, and they will look for other options. They are essentially viewing Ethereum as sort of a stopgap. So by them saying that, they're basically saying that, you know, Ethereum, much like Bitcoin, was the first of its kind. We understand the utility of Ethereum, but we want to make it better. And their hope with the Flare network is that they're going to be able to do that. And they're going to be able to align the economic incentives better than the Ethereum network. There will not be competing frictions of the economic incentives and the security of the program that they're building. So Flare believes that they'll be able to develop a better Ethereum, essentially. And the question is, how are they going to achieve that? And so in the white paper, they say that Flare is not linking the safety of the network to the value of its token. It does require the token to operate, but it's more for the safety of the program and to prevent spam transactions, much like the XRP burn rate. As I said before, Flare's token is called Spark and denoted FLR. It's suitable to enable the trustless usage of non-Turing complete tokens with smart contracts. And so this is where my technical side goes awry. Flare mentions that it's the world's first Turing complete federated Byzantine agreement, FBA is how they denote it, network. The nodes run without relying on economic incentives that can interfere with a high value and high risk use cases. And Flare leverages the Ethereum virtual machine, which actually doesn't use any Ethereum tokens at all. To my understanding, it's a program and it's a programming system which allows it to run the Turing complete smart contracts. So basically it helps Flare do Turing complete contracts when Flare is also operating on a non-Turing complete token network. So basically, your Spark tokens can be used in a collection of smart contracts on Flare, and they're referenced in the system initially for FXRP. And so users who do convert their Flare to FXRP will be providing collateral to the FXRP system. So your Spark tokens can actually be used in a collection of smart contracts on Flare. And so what they mentioned in the white paper is they're going to be using, as I stated previously, XRP in this system. And so users who want to provide collateral to the FXRP system, they refer to them as agents. And they list an example of Bob, who is an agent, and Ellis, who is an originator. So I'm going to do something new today. I'm going to actually go to my drawing pad and work out an example for you guys. If you like this, let me know in the comments below. Should be short and sweet, but I think visual depiction does a much better job.
So in this example they give in the Flare network description, they state that your Flare tokens, aka your Spark tokens, can be used in a collection of smart contracts within the Flare network that are referenced to as FXRP in the system. And that users who do this, they can provide collateral to the FXRP system or the Flare network. Those users are called agents. So they give an example of Bob, who is an agent. Bob currently has 5,000 Flare on the Flare network. Currently, the equivalent price of Flare to XRP is divisible by the sum of 10. So 1 XRP is 10 Flare. Because 1 XRP is equivalent to 10 Flare, Bob has the equivalent value of 500 XRP in his Flare network account. That means that Bob can lend out his Flare XRP or FXRP to another individual on the Flare network called an originator. However, the Flare network stipulates that Bob needs to have capital reserves in case he reneges on his promise to, at a later date, send back the XRP to the originator. And Flare network is setting a 2.5 collateral ratio for that, which means that for the 500 XRP that Bob has, he can only lend out 200 FXRP. So what this means is that for the equivalent of 500 XRP that Bob has in value, he can only lend out 200 FXRP. So in this example, Ellis would like to get 200 FXRP. She's probably going to use this in a smart contract, and she needs the ability to be able to program the smart contract using XRP. And so this is where this is actually just a bridge of the XRP ledger. And so Ellis would like that 200 FXRP. Because of this, the Flare network pairs up Bob and they pair up Ellis, and they give instructions to Ellis to send Bob 200 XRP on the XRP ledger. So what Ellis does is she sends Bob the 200 XRP on the ledger plus a set creation fee. Now this creation fee is what Bob will get for partaking in the Flare network. It's the majority of the fee that Bob will collect, aka the most revenue from this transaction is the creation fee for Bob. And so Bob will get a creation fee plus 200 XRP on the XRP ledger. When Bob gets this creation fee and the XRP on the XRPL ledger, Flare knows that Ellis did her part and then will basically give Ellis the 200 FXRP. At any time, Ellis can redeem the 200 FXRP for XRP on the XRP ledger. So if Ellis is done with her smart contract and has fulfilled that smart contract, and now she wants to come back and collect her XRP on the XRP ledger, she will notify the Flare network, and then Flare will notify Bob that Ellis would like to collect on this lending contract. And so because Ellis would like to collect on this lending contract, Bob will be notified. And when Bob is notified, the system will then issue a set of instructions to Bob telling him how much XRP to send and where, along with 2 XRP ledger number deadlines by which the transaction must be completed. So if Bob completes the transaction by the first deadline, his collateral is entirely unlocked. So right now, Bob has the equivalent of 300 FXRP on collateral because of this 2.5 collateral ratio. So if Bob fills his duty on that first deadline, he will get his fee and then he'll get to keep the collateral that he has. However, if Bob fails the first deadline but succeeds by the second deadline, he will be charged just a small fee and the rest of his collateral will be unlocked. The penalty fee, Flare is saying, is just burned off. But if Bob fails to complete the transaction by the second deadline, Flare Network determines that Bob has a redemption failure. When this happens, Ellis will be compensated with Spark tokens to the value of her redeemed XRP plus a 1% increase to cover the transaction cost of buying back the XRP. This is drawn from Bob's collateral. So if Bob loses out on that deadline, the 200 FXRP will come out of his collateral, which was 300, leaving him with 100 FXRP left, and that remaining collateral, he'll be penalized 50%. So he will be penalized 50 XRP, and from that point, he'll get to keep the other 50 XRP for himself. If this happens, this basically allows Ellis to buy replacement XRP on an exchange because she gets the value out of Bob's collateral. So I hope this graphic depiction was helpful to you. I needed to do this for myself to be able to figure out how this all worked. I'm mostly curious as to how this would work and why people would lend out FXRP. I'm sort of viewing this now as possibly this could be a solution to basically lending a margin for XRP. So I hope this visual depiction helps you out, and let's get back to the video.
So I appreciate you watching that. Hopefully that helped you understand more about how the agents and the originators are incentivized to act within the Flare network. So briefly, I just want to talk about FlareFinance. FlareFinance is not directly involved in the Flare network makeup. They are instead a group of anonymous individuals who are hoping to bring and provide decentralized finance applications to the XRP and Spark community. They believe that developing this finance system utilizing XRP and Spark, they will be able to provide the fastest and cheapest experience thanks to the superior architecture of Flare and XRP. They currently list 6 products: FlareX, Flare Farm, Flare USD, Flare Loans, Flare Mutual, and Flare Mine. They also have talked about issuing a Flare Insurance product. So my understanding with the nature of these products is they're probably remaining anonymous because of the unrefined regulations surrounding these topics. It basically is a decentralized finance program, which means that you have no third parties and you just have 2 individuals acting on behalf of each other, agreeing to transactions on the network. And so I believe they're staying anonymous until regulations can come up and clear some of the gray area and allow them to eventually come out and talk more about this to us. The interesting thing about the FlareFinance network is they are going to allow holders of Spark and XRP to earn basically interest income while partaking in their FlareFinance programs. So you essentially will become your own bank. You'll be able to lend out Flare and XRP within the Spark Flare network that is relying on this programming from FlareFinance. As I stated earlier, FlareFinance is not necessarily issuing an airdrop, but they are calling it a DAO offering. They're airdropping tokens to holders of Spark FLR as DFLR. So it's referred to as the DAOFlare token. The DAOFlare token can then be swapped for YFLR on their platform. But in order to be swapped for YFLR on the platform, you have to review legal notices, watch educational videos, and agree to be active within the FlareFinance ecosystem and participate in governance. Basically, they're saying they want people to participate instead of just getting the initial token and then selling it on the network and not participating in the network. They sort of want the users to make a pledge that they will utilize it and participate in growing the network, which is pretty cool. So the interesting thing about YFLR is that you can stake it and mine YFIN, or you can trade it on FlareX for another currency or token pairing. And so YFLR will have 110 million tokens in total, and 41 million of them will be in immediate circulation. Another interesting thing is that along with this YFIN token that you can mine, there are actually opportunities for people to mine within the FlareFinance network. Basically, you will join a pool and be able to mine Bitcoin and Ethereum in real time, and whenever you get a payout, as you would with mining, you would basically be getting Flare instead. So it's basically allowing people to use their existing mining hardware and participate in a brand new network and a brand new DeFi platform, which I think is a pretty logical step and a really good solution for all these people who are still currently mining Ethereum and Bitcoin. Overall, this is some really exciting technology, and it's utilizing Oracle data feeds to basically compare the price of XRP in real time and to get a real-time price for FXRP. and you can read the paper a little bit more, but there seems to be some opportunities for individuals to purchase computing power and basically link that to your Flare account and reap the rewards of Flare and just pay a third-party provider for that computing power. I think that's pretty cool that they're doing that. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope now that you have a better picture of the Flare network and what it would like to accomplish and what FlareFinance is working on. I think these two ecosystems are going to be pretty amazing if they are able to do what they say they can do reliably and fast and accurately. I also think it's really fantastic that they place so much trust in the XRP community to basically launch these networks. I think it shows that, you know, if these people are entrusting us with their success, it just shows that the XRP community is like none other out there. It's full of wonderful, amazing people. And if you agree with that, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching.